Gotta wait for my computer to calm its tits. I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet.
There he is! It looks like he's writing something.
Huh? What are you doing here? He was sure quick. He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me?
Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you.
That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So, what did you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I can do can erase that fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that the evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same, no matter what excuse I might have.
Mr. Edgeworth!
I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come down to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial, and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial.
Tomorrow's the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? That list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists? That's odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but at the time, there was only one thing on my mind. I used the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty.
Say, well, we just saw a picture taken around that time.
That picture? Something seems strange about it. Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered. You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one.
Because you awarded this?
Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes. Just odds and ends. Clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is until I was asked to take something back.
Take something back?
This.
Oh yeah! Chief Kane asked you to hold on to that, didn't he?
Yes. It was a piece of evidence in the case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we heard yesterday. So, you came back here to the prosecutor's office because Chief asked you? That's right. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Kent's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy.
Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me.
Yes?
The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding. It's a little different than yours.
Yes, you're right. I remember now. Remember what? That was the official prosecutor's trophy used until that time. There's a story behind it.
A story?
Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with two characters. The first meant halberd, and second means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Sure. Everyone knows it. Why don't you just tell it, though? For Emma's sake. Very well. Long ago, in the kingdom of the Chu, there were anons of merchants. One day he presented the king with two items. First was a halberd that he claimed that could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed that could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive. Then again, you've heard the story before, right? Yes, I'm just listening to the music. Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredited them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless, and thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born.
Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and the broken knife symbolize...
Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. But it is in our nature to pursue the matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this.
Wow! Thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today.
That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the reward abolished. Chief Gant. Ugh. I wonder, is there anything else I can present? I don't think so. Excuse me. Would either of you care for a quarter-pound roast beef? Miss Starr! I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sorts, aren't you? Kinda like the first person who snuck in the cow's... who sucked the cow's nipples to discover milk. I still never thought I'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in the trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't all just be attributed to a mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know that little scene that I happened to witness? The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. No matter how much of the past you dig up, you won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. It starts hatred towards Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. Joe Dark. That's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pleasure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though. He must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lana Skye.
My sister?
The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by that legendary duo.
Lana and Chief can't.
That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out. You mean with the forging of evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious that the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our teams never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret.
But you don't have proof anything illegal was done.
I'm proud enough of what happened, or I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us, save Goodman, were relieved from our duties. Most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor.
Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor.
Nothing's quite as simple as it appears.
Huh?
Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used? Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, to the Chief Scant's powerful influence.
Chief?
That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control, and then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred? If he could control the chief prosecutor, he can control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along.
But how could he control Lana?
I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change. At last, I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Starr. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chief than I've been. A better chef than I've been. Damon Gant and Lana Skye. 2 years ago, Gant was chief detective and Lana is second in command. They were the best.
They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they?
Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. His magnetism? By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence? You mean? Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him though. I take it that she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, Everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her.
But really?
Oh yes, my influence included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake.
Mr. Marshall.
When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would ever have recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating.
The star.
That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? I wonder what he was writing before.
Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look.
Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there.
Just distract him. I'll check it out.
Hey, Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gumshoe out there? Out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground! Hold on. First, let me see what the girl's doing crawling around my feet. He didn't even look.
What? Letter of...
If you can't read, I'll read it for you. It says letter of resignation. Resignation? Edgeworth! You don't mean... I'm tired, Mr. Wright. I feel as if something inside me has died.
But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault.
I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. The path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh. I think he's serious.
Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something.
This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. Yeah. There is, actually. What's this crumpled up piece of paper? No way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious! Is he ever not serious? I can't believe they pushed him this far!
Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible.
Yeah, at first I thought he was cold as ice. But now I know different. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we betrayed him.
Detective.
That's it. I made up my mind.
But...
Here, take my ID card. We can't do that. If someone found out...
They wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report.
Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated. What? So at least let me do this. For Mr. Edgeworth's sake. Alright, Detective. Thank you. And it's dark.
Here goes, Mr. Wright. Open sesame! If anyone finds us now...
Detective Gumshoe's a goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out.
Ah!
Ah!
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Ah! Detective Gumshoe! What are you doing sneaking up on us like that? Yeah, I wasn't sneaking. Yeah, I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came to. If you're here, then what's the point in giving us your ID card? Oh! Hey, don't do that to my card! I hardly ever get a chance to come in here, so I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now.
You really do want to get fired, don't you?
Not if we were lucky. Now, come on, let's see what we can find out. I've got a bad feeling about this. This is the real deal, isn't it? This armor and these weapons? Sure is, pal. The chief doesn't care for imitations. First the pipe organ, and now this armor. Do you know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room?
What? You mean we're paying for this? That's it. I'm not paying 1 cent with my taxes.
You don't have any taxes to pay. Shh! Be careful what you say. Who knows? The chief may be hiding his armor. Maybe hiding his armor as we speak. I don't think he'd fit in there.
Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out.
Cut it out! You guys don't know how scary that guy can be. This is a safe, isn't it? Safe. That word is ripe with intrigue. Okay, if you say so.
It looks like the code needs to be entered to be able to open it.
Seven-digit number. I think I might know what it is. Do you know what it is? I have a hunch. Oh, I know. You want to try my birth date? It's... I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. Let's see. Bingo.
What number did you enter?
Whose birthday was it, pal? 77777777. The final ID card number on that record.
What?
The number is the number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day. You mean 777777? That ID number? I think you're 17 shy this time. This can only mean one thing. That Chief Gant's ID number.
Say, anyone care to look inside?
Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away?
Look, it's
A shard from a broken cup. This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before?
there's something else in here too.
What's this? It looks like a piece of leather cloth.
This is the handprint, isn't it?
Hey! I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up the design?
I don't think so.
Oh. You know, it was just a thought.
Is that it? Is that all in the safe?
Apparently so. It's empty now. A piece of cloth with a handprint on it, and a broken shard from a cup. They look like pieces of evidence. But unless you can prove that they have something to do with the case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here. Great. Now I have to prove their relevancy to... How do I get these two items related to the SL9 incident?
Come on, there's gotta be something that we can show the detective.
Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar? Oh, let's put that back together. So there were... Oh, those were the days. It's kind of early to be nostalgic.
Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from the case?
Yeah, that's right. One of these shards had SL9 written on the sticker. Doesn't this ring any bells? No, you know that fragment that we just found? You mean this one? The one that was in the safe?
Yeah, that one. That was in the safe.
Now that you mention it, it kind of rings a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at it. Go ahead, pal. Show us what that rookie can do.
It's right. Here's some glue.
Alright, if I can piece this together again, it'll prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. There! It fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of evidence of this jar in his safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident.
But...
Hey guys, get a load of this! What is it? This piece you just attached. It's different from the others.
There's a reddish line on it.
A reddish line. That blood. That's blood. I don't get it! Why would Chief Gant hide this in a safe? Oh, whoops. That's not what I wanted. Oh wait, actually... Could I do that? I'm curious. I am curious. Shoot, I didn't mean to do that. Oh.
Whoa! This area must have been covered in blood.
This is from that incident?
It must be. The prosecutor knew Marshall was murdered. 2 years had passed, so the reaction is kind of dull.
So a murder really did take place here. Okay, that's all I wanted to see for that part. Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this. Yeah, I know what that is. So you want to take some fingerprints.
It's a great idea, Detective.
Alright, go to town. Sheesh. What are you doing? Why aren't you sticking out your hand like that? Why are you sticking your hand out like that? Go ahead. Take my fingerprints.
It's not your fingerprints that we want to take.
Huh? Come on, you think this is time for jokes? We're talking about the cloth that we found in the safe. Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Sheesh. Where's your sense of humor?
Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check it out. Let's check it out for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Then, once they've been absorbed into the prints, blow the rest away.
What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told a million times. Alright, let's get this over with. No. What? What? No. How can this be? What are Miss Prince doing here?
Hey, did you find a match? Whose fingerprints were they?
Huh? Oh, it seems that the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match.
Oh, that's too bad. I thought that they'd be trace prints.
Psst. Hey, over here. What's going on here? What are the kids' prints doing inside the chief's safe? Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now. Here, maybe you should hold on to this. That desk on the other side of the room. Was that your sister's?
Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana. On that day 2 years ago.
Is anyone using it now? No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene. That's a strange reason to leave it here. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself. New Year's party. But of course, that was pretty intoxicated. He was pretty intoxicated at the time. I see.
So ever since Lana left, no one ever touched the desk?
No one except Chief Gant. And the cleaning lady who's here each morning. Still, 2 years have passed since the incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Can I ask you something? Sure. You only came here to look around, right? Because one of them SL9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming in here, isn't it? Why do you ask? You don't think... Nah, you wouldn't be... No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay. Now then, let's have a look around a bit more. Hey, hold on! Not so fast, buddy! Huh? What is it? When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You just don't let it go at that. Yeah, sorry. This guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you? You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you?
What? Yeah, Mr. Wright, what do we think of him?
Chief Gant. So it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet. And there he goes, ignoring me again.
Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk.
Speaking of that, when we were here earlier... Oh, it's you two! Chief Gant! He put that paper he was reading in his desk. I was wondering what he was reading. And this just looks like an evidence list. He's in a case. A list of evidence? In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this.
Hey, look at the case name.
Huh? SO9 incident? I wonder what that's doing here. Hold on, detective. What did you just say? I said I wonder what... No, about the evidence list. Normally they're twice as long? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I guess there wasn't a whole lot of evidence. A half-size list of evidence. That list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. What would the other half of the list be doing here?
I knew it. The chief must be hiding something about the case.
It would appear so. Well, was I any help? Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. No! That's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right, you in the coat?
Ah!
Chief Gant! We didn't think you'd be back so soon. Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out the window and saw a stray dog run right into a pole. Just then, I thought of a certain detective. Do you mean me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Oh, you in the coat. Yes, sir. Drop your ID card on the way. You won't be needing it anymore. But, sir. Now get out. Yes, sir. We'll be on our way too, then. Wait! You, the one with the spiky hair. Don't go yet.
Me, sir?
I'd like a word with you.
But, sir, I'm not licensed or anything.
You with the spiky hair. You're free to go.
Mr. Wright!
Look, pal. If I told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. Chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it. Now that I'm seeing the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get a picture. It's hard to believe anyone could keep quiet about it all this time. Anyway, you listen to me. I'm gonna try to smooth this things over with the Chief again. Later, pal. After that, I heard from Emma. She said that the police want to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. Yeah, this recording session is so long. I see. So, the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. Well, you've told me over these past couple of days. There's absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. Who it is you're hiding behind those words. You did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe. That was my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so, because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say. So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No. I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who, may I ask, is the person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly so frightened of. What is that person's name? Well, Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, you are addressing the Chief Prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about the circumstances? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly investigated that evidence was me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, but there was also one other, damning Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant's... I just found this in a safe in the Chief's office. This jar and a piece of strip... What did I just present? Do you know what these are? These are pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame from him? Touché, Mr. Wright. It is as you surmised. I cannot disobey the Chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate in the murder of Detective Goodman. Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take care of the body. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk was broken. I discovered that the murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife? No. When I found the body, this was the knife that was stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident? The serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him. So I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife. That's right. Even though that he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that's the reason for your bandage, for the bandage on your right hand? Yes. It seems that I got some blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. The star. Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't even ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. So, you hid Dark's knife? The weapon used to stab the detective was the evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. In Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Right. Then I called my sister to tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma was so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? He's the lead investigator for the SL9 incident and had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust, or at least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke with him, he went off to an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean, not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Officer Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen its ID card, but it seems that he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room? I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and as an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. and what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. Oh, that was a fat recording session. So thank you guys so very much for watching. If you like this episode, hit that like button. And if you want to stay up to date for more content on the channel and also get some updates as well, hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys all in the next episode. So please take care. And as always, have yourself a wonderful day.